All right, guys. Arya, can you scoot up a little bit, scoot in, please, so that you're ready to go. So today I have everything right in front of you ready to go, but I don't want you to touch anything yet because I want to kind of give you some background information first, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say is, what have we been talking about lately?
Plants.
Plants. Different types of plants. And so we've been reading a bunch of nonfiction. Yes, we've been reading about a life cycle of a plant. We have our vocabulary. We have all the stuff that we've been talking about. Now, today we're also going to read nonfiction. It's going to be similar to yesterday, how we read about the steps on how to plant a plant, but this is a little different. This is called, don't flip over yet because I want you to be surprised. Hello, this is Quinn. I'm videoing right now. Can you call the front office and see if somebody else, I have a group and I'm actually in the middle of a video. Can you just call the front office and see if they can get someone else to cover, please? Thank you, bye-bye. Okay, so this is called a guidebook. All right, so what we have in front of us is called a guidebook. And so today, what we are going to learn about, and the question that we are going to try to answer is, understand that plants can be unusual, okay? Unusual, and look what I put below it, different and unique, because those are describing words and characteristics for plants. So at the end of the lesson today, we want to be able to understand that plants can be unusual. And with that understanding, what would understanding mean? What would we need to be able to tell to understand that plants are unusual? What are some of the things that we might need to understand to be able to tell somebody? Their life cycle.
How they grow.
Okay. What makes.
And how much stuff you need.
Well, yeah, that is, but we're talking about unusual though, because today we're reading about strange plants, right? So today we want to understand how they're unusual. Now, yesterday we did talk about the life cycle of the plant, so we wanted to understand REA, didn't we? We wanted to understand about how they grow in the process. But today, since we're reading about strange plants, we want to change our focus in this nonfiction piece, okay? So this is called a guidebook, is what they're calling it, which is another type of nonfiction, which as you look, go ahead and take a look, because I know you're going to be curious, and I want you to you can flip it to the front and back and look at those text features. You're going to see headings, you're going to see bold print, labels, photos, and then you're even, don't touch the Post-it, and you're even going to see text boxes. So these are all text features that are other clues into the fact that this is what genre? Nonfiction. So what's the author's purpose in nonfiction? To teach us something, right? What are they trying to teach us about, do you think, if the title is Strange Plants?
Strange plants that you don't
They're
know
trying
about?
to teach us about strange plants, right? Here's some, I want everybody to look up here. Can you put it down for a second? I want everybody to look up here. REA, I would like everybody to look up here, because here's some key academic vocabulary that you're going to want to know how to read it, how to pronounce it, and what it means. And they're all kind of very similar except for one, if you'll notice. Giant, monster, right? Towering, and creeps. Okay? Now, giant, monster, and towering. If something's giant, it's probably monstrous, like this monster flower here. If something's towering, it also means that it's very large. It's kind of towering over you, like someone who is really tall, especially when you're little, may tower over you, right? And then creeps. What does creeps mean? What do you think it would mean with a plant? It can be creepy, like scary, but it also can mean when something grows up something, it creeps up. It might creep. A vine might creep up. Yes, a vine might creep up, or an insect might creep up the plant, right? All right. So Okay, it's fine. You're fine. All right, so the question that I want us to think about as we're reading this today is, I need everybody's eyes on me, please, because everybody's still looking around. What makes some plants different from others? Okay? What makes some plants different from others? Okay? So, will you look at the top and it says a guidebook? It says a guidebook. See how I highlighted that for you? A guidebook. It is a reference book that you carry with you. And so these are excerpts from a guidebook about amazing plants. Now that means we don't have the whole guidebook, right? We just have this front and back page, okay? So, and look at the title. The title is highlighted for you. What is the title?
Strange plants.
Strange Plants, right? So, if somebody asks us what the main idea of this nonfiction guidebook is, what would clue us in? That topic heading, that title. Yep, it is all about strange or strange plants, right? Because some people may know about strange plants. But does everybody understand that if you're looking for the main idea, it's right there? Emma? It's right, yes, it's right there in the title, okay? So this guidebook is going to have information about strange plants and the characteristics these plants might have. So let's start with who? What is that first one that we have highlighted there? The monster plant. We talked about the word monster. What did we say the word monster means?
Like huge.
It means it's probably huge. Yes, and it means that it is very big, and we know it's also strange. So let's read this together to see what is strange about this plant. Okay, or actually it's a flower, right? Monster flower. We know it's flower, and we have the ER. Everybody right here, I want your eyes on it, following along, please. The monster flower is the name of this plant. Can I hear you? Yep. It has the largest flower in the world. Oh my goodness. To people, this plant smells really bad. But bees and other insects love this plant smell, and that helps the plant. And then notice at the bottom it says monster flower. Does anybody know what that is called? What type of text feature that is? If it's right there below him saying what it is, does anybody know what that is?
A label.
It's a label. It's labeling it so you know that this is the monster flower and this is what it looks like. Now, does it look that big on the page? No, it really doesn't. So everybody notice you have a Post-it there. You may choose your marker or you may choose your pencil. And notice I wrote monster flower. This is where we're going to take our anecdotal notes, okay? Like a stop and jot here. And I decided that I thought it was important that monster flowers smell bad. So that is all I wrote. I'm not concerned about spelling. I'm just concerned about getting that down so we can move on to the next piece because we'll revisit it later. So I've already started it for you, monster flowers. So finish that sentence with something that you learned and think is important about monster flowers that we need to remember later. Okay, good job. If there's some words you can't spell, are you able to look in the passage? Yes, and you can say the word slowly, right? There you go. All right, we need to make it real quick so that this is just a stop and jot. Remember, I told you that anecdotal notes, they don't have to be fancy, they don't have to be spelled correctly, and they don't necessarily have to be a complete sentence. It's just thoughts so we can remember what we read. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're done. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs up. We got thumbs down. Write one more word and then you can just sum it up for us if you don't mind. All right, while he is finishing up, I want you to share. Can you please share for us what you wrote? Monster flowers what? They can be really big. Now, notice the conversation starter that I chose for today. Oh, thumbs up, thank you. Thank you, Arya. It says, in my opinion. Yes, remember we said yesterday that we can share our opinion, but we always have to do it respectfully. Remember our rules of collaborative conversation? So if she says, can you use this prompt and add what you said for me, please? In my opinion. In her opinion, they can be really big. Now, is that also a fact? Because we can actually go back in here and find it in here. Yes. In her opinion, they can get really big, but it also says in here they are the what? Largest flower in the world. So her opinion, that's actually a fact, really. Her opinion could be like, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't know if I would like the monster flower because it smells bad. Okay?
I don't think it smells bad as onions.
Oh, well, we don't know because has anybody ever smelled a monster flower? I've never seen one before, right?
I've never even seen one.
Right.
I never even knew there was
Okay.
one.
Emma, in your opinion, do you think that you would like the monster flower and want it in your house or yard? You would?
Yes.
You would too? Okay,
No.
you would not. Okay, we have two. Would you like it in your yard?
Not if it smells worse than onions.
Okay, if it smells worse than onions, which they said it does smell bad, we got 2 no's and 2 yeses. So, how about Manuel? How about you tell me, I would not like it in my yard because, tell me why.
I would not like it in my yard because it smells very bad and they are one of the biggest plants and it might take over my
Ooh,
yard.
that's a good point. It might take over my yard. Does anybody have any
It'll
response to
make
that?
all of the other plants sick.
That's true, that's a good point. Now, anyone who said, I would like it in my yard, can you share your opinion since it's a little bit different? In my opinion,
I would like it in my yard because bees and insects love it, and I won't have to deal with the insects and the bees.
okay, that's a good point. She doesn't want to deal with the insects and bees. All right, I love what y'all said, and I feel like, in my opinion also, I would not like it in my yard because I don't like anything that smells bad. But I also believe that it's good for insects and plants, insects and bees. So that is a good thing. So maybe I do need it. So I would have to.
Far away from your house.
Right, I might have to be in between depending on the day maybe. All right, now go ahead and turn to the back. Turn to the back of this guidebook. On the back, I want you to find, no, we're only focusing on one part. That is why that is there. And do you notice I did not give you a prompt this time because I want y'all to do this on your own this time. I want you to notice the bold word, the other text feature at the top, sundew plant. Sundew plant. There's a highlight right below
Oh, right
it.
here.
The sundew plant.
Bug zapper.
Yep, the topic heading is bug zappers. You're exactly
I
right.
hate those things. They
All right.
capture things.
That
And then
is.
they
So
go
let's start right here at insects and read this together. Insects love the sweet smell of the leaves of the sundew plant. But when the insect creeps, why did I stop there?
Because it's what I
That was one of our vocabulary words,
'Cause it
creeps.
has EE.
Or, yes, and it has EE, the vowel pair we've been talking about, or lands on a sundew, I need you right here. Guys, you need to be following along with your eyes. On a sundew leaf, the insect can't get away. The leaves are sticky, the insect gets stuck. Okay, guys, why do you think I highlighted the leaves are sticky, the insect gets stuck?
It's important for
Because it's kind of like
information.
glue.
It is kind of like glue. Okay.
Information.
So I actually highlighted that because I want you to realize that those 2 sentences help clue you into what the word sticky means. Sticky. It says these leaves are sticky. Remember how I told you that usually if you're looking for what a word means, the answer is usually a sentence above or the sentence below. So this sentence says sticky. Read that last sentence for me again. The insect is stuck. So if something's sticky, what does it mean? Something sticks to it, right? Or gets stuck, which is the past tense of stick, right? So if you will look real quick, I have the word sticky here for each of you. I have the word sticky here for each of you, okay? Sticky, everybody gets sticky. Now, look here. What is on the end to make it sticky? Y, that Y. Now look, now what do I have? Stick. And what did I say when I used the definition? It makes something stick to it, or what can I change? What if I want to change it to stuck? I have to just change the vowel. What do I change the vowel to? Stuck. So this part says stuck and this part says up. Change it to the word stuck real quick. Erase your Y, because stucky is not a word, remember? Don't erase the whole thing. You only need to erase. Okay, go ahead. Stuck. Now, we can't stuck. Check it. Does a K go in front of a C or does the C go in front of the K? Think of our ending. Yep, C always goes in front of the K. Okay, guys, so do you notice what we did there? You probably all know the root word stick. You probably know pick. So I need eyes on me right now. Nowhere else. I don't want you writing anything else. Manuel, I'm here. See, when I give you tools, if they become toys, we can't use tools anymore, right? So we went from stick, we added the Y, became sticky, right? Then I changed the middle vowel to a U and got the past tense of stick, which is stuck, okay? So everybody go to your Post-it note. And I told you that our anecdotal notes are on, don't worry about erasing, just put it up. Our anecdotal notes are on what's important about certain things. So, and what do we think is important about the sundew plant? What happens? The leaves are sticky, so what?
It can eat its insect when it gets stuck and it will die.
Things get
No, okay, let's, what did I say? This is paraphrasing. We can be short and to the point. We do not have to write a whole sentence. We've already know that it's the sundew plant because our anecdotal note is right beside it. So what type of leaves does it have? Sticky leaves. So I would just write sticky leaves because now you know what sticky means. Now, should you be able to write sticky without really thinking about it? I'm hoping so because we just worked on it, right? You can say it slowly, and if you know pick, you can read stick, and then you add the Y for E. Start with your, yep.
Sticky.
Okay, sticky, good job. Okay. Sticky leaves, that's all you need. You do not need to write anything more than that, okay? Because that's easy, right? We're trying to do things that are quick and fast. You got it, buddy? Okay, good job. It's okay. Look, I know you did fine. Look, leaves. There you go. Sticky leaves is all we need. And does it also have a label? Yes. So, in this nonfiction reading today, did we see all of these text features? And these text features clue us in that it's nonfiction. We saw headings like bug zappers, strange plants, monster flowers. We saw bold print, right? Sundew plant. Oh, a lot of our plants were labeled. Did we see real photos? Yep. And we saw text boxes. Did everybody realize that this is a text box there? Okay, so text boxes. And one thing I want you to realize is that all of these things are important, right? Not just one thing. So you don't skip the captions, you don't skip the text boxes, you don't skip the little text boxes at the top, because they all have important information for us, right? So we have been talking about asking and answering questions, and we've been really talking about the main idea. A lot of times when we're talking about fiction, we've been talking about the central message, right? The central message in the story. But this is nonfiction, and what did we say the main idea was? What was the main idea of this whole thing? Strange plants. And we said, and we know that because it was in the title. Just like when we've read fiction, we've talked about how the title helps us figure out the main idea, and usually the first or last paragraph where they're summarizing will also clue us into what the main idea is. Main idea is just what? A fancy way of saying the main thing the story is what? About. The main story, the main thing the story is talking about. Okay, so don't let that confuse you. All right, so remember, today, our goal was to figure out the main idea of this passage. Give me a thumbs up if you feel good about the main idea and you understand what the main idea is. Okay, now, put your thumb down. Now, you were also supposed to be able to ask and answer questions about what you learned. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like that went well. Do you feel like you could tell somebody about strange plants now? Okay, so as our final ticket out the door, everybody has something that says, in my opinion. I went ahead and started it for you. Now look at mine. I said, in my opinion, monster flowers are important to bees and other insects. That was my takeaway from today, okay? Now, should you copy mine? No. Do you notice that I didn't copy anything from the text? I actually used what I learned in the text to put it in my own words, something that was interesting to me. Now, am I worried about spelling? Not necessarily, but I would like you to try to say the words slowly and definitely try to spell the words correctly, that have the vowel pairs and our high frequency words we've been looking on. But I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to see that you understood what we did today. Does anybody have any questions? I see everybody writing already, so I think we're good. All right, go ahead and keep writing.